Before I didn't know, how it works, does it get delayed, or what's the right tax code for me, and things like that. Really, this was a bit difficult because in the Philippines as well, we usually Hey guys, it's Danica and welcome back to my channel. To those who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Danica. I'm a registered nurse in the Philippines, here in the UK and in the US as well. If you're new here in this channel, I encourage you to click on the subscribe button below and also the bell button beside it so that you will be notified every time that we have an update. Okay guys, how are you all? I hope you guys are all fine. For today's video, for the longest time, we haven't really spoken about the salary of a nurse here in the UK, and I thought maybe this video would be helpful to those who are planning to go here or to those who just arrived here in the UK to have some basic knowledge about the salary here in the UK. So we won't be talking about, how much that would be, because obviously I've done so many videos about that. I'll put the link below as well if you guys are interested. So we'll be talking about the basic knowledge that you should know, because obviously before I didn't know how it works, does it get delayed, or what's the right tax code for me, and things like that. So yes, this is a good start for how do I say, beginners here in the UK. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are interested in this video, then please keep on watching. Alright guys, so the first thing you need to check when you get your payslip here is to check if you're on the right tax code. So based on my experience, I first came here, for some reasons the tax code I was on was wrong, so I needed to ring the tax people. I need to ring a certain number to actually try and correct it or rectify it. I've discovered it because I compared it to my friends before. It's not difficult to actually sort it out, but it's just that obviously you should know that you're on the right tax code. So I have my copy here. So for most people with us in the NHS, if you're a nurse, so the most common tax code is 1257L. So that's for one person with one job. L means personal allowance. So you might have heard about this before. The standard personal allowance we have per year is £12,570. So that means it's the amount of income that you do not have to pay tax on. So for example, a person doesn't really earn beyond 12,570 per annum, then they won't get taxed at all. So yes, after checking it and you're on the right tax code, here are the things that you need to know. So number one is that our salary never gets delayed. So it's never ever delayed. It might be a bit early, but it's never delayed. It's obviously different, depends on which trust you're working. So before, I think when I was in Torbay, our salary comes every 28th of the month, but now I'm in Cornwall, it's every 25th of the month. And then my friend told me the one in Dorset, they don't really have a specific date. They just say that like the last working day of the month, so whatever date it falls onto, I think that's when they give the salary. But yeah, for example, the 25th actually falls on a weekend. So say example Saturday, they actually give your salary the day before that, the Friday, the weekday. How do I even explain it? Well, before the weekend if it falls on a weekend, or before the bank holiday if it falls, for example, the 25th is a bank holiday, let's say Monday, so they will give it like Friday beforehand. So that's how it works. That's why it's never delayed. And number two is that I've actually kind of mentioned it already, the salary comes in once a month. So initially this was a bit difficult because in the Philippines as well, we usually get paid like twice a month, right? The 15th and the 30th. But here it's just once a month, so it's very important that you know how to budget your money. I think it's just about getting used to it, so yes. And then number three is that any overtime or enhancement is paid the next month. So for example, in the month of January, you've worked overtime, say twice, so you will be paid for that on February, so you won't see it in your salary at the end of January. And also if all the enhancements as well, so we say enhancements meaning, for example, you work the weekend or you work night shift, so any night differential or weekend differential, I can't pronounce my word, but we call it here enhancement, will also get paid next month. So that's how it works. So basically you just get paid on, you know, what you've worked for this month, and any extras will be paid the following month. Okay, moving forward, my number 4. So what did I write here? So if you're on the NHS, if you're an NHS nurse, we do have increments. So for a new nurse coming in the NHS, you'll always be a band 5, so that means you're an entry level basically. For a band 5, the first increment would happen after 2 years, so that's your second year, and then the second one and the last one as well would happen 2 years after that. So basically 4 years of working for the NHS, that's when you get to top of the band. That means it doesn't matter how long you stay. So for example 10 years or whatever, you stay at the top of the band, so you wouldn't have any more increments. So that's like the limit, that's like the top already, unless you become a band 6 or a band 7. So that's how you progress even more. But that's how it works for the banding. If you don't get any promotion, or you know, if you just want to stay as a band 5, there's a certain threshold that you just, you know, that's the maximum basically. And then last on my list is about the pension. So it's really difficult to speak about pension. Initially I wanted to be enrolled in a pension, and I think it's automatic anyway if you join the NHS, but you know guys, you can always opt out if you want to, if you're not sure. I mean, the NHS pension here, I've heard so many things, so many good things about it, and I think it's really good, especially if you're, you know, if you're actually sure of staying here in the UK. But if you're not, then you can always opt out, but just make sure you need to opt out before 2 years, because I think if you didn't opt out after 2 years, I think it's gonna be more difficult, or like you won't really get your money back, something like that. Even before, when I opted out after how many months, I say 3, I didn't get the whole of my money. There's already like a deduction from that as well. So yeah, but anyway, if you're not sure yet, you can always opt in and opt out. That's what I've heard. You know, I've heard people who, you know, opt out and then opt in again at any time. So it's not like the end of the world if you're not decided yet and you opt out for the pension. So yes, I think that's it. I think I just wanted to share, you know, some basic information about how salary works here in the UK. I think it's always good to know how it actually works and how the system works, you know, so you're not gonna be ignorant, especially when it comes to money. It's very important that you check how much you're earning and if you're actually getting paid, because you know, they're not perfect. Sometimes they do make mistakes. I had problems before with my payslip, and that's how you actually learn from it. So yes. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helps. If you do have any questions, comment down below and I'll try to answer it. And yes, see you again in my next one. Bye.